Welcome back to the show. We know how difficult it is to be an entrepreneur, an early stage entrepreneur, trying to get your feet off the ground and share your innovative, whether it's a service or a product. My next guest has decided to celebrate some of those entrepreneurs. I'm joined by Urooj Qureshi. He's the principal of a design-centered company. Welcome, Urooj. Great to have you back here. Nice to see you again after a few years, eh? It's been a few years since you and I.
It has.
Yeah. Let's talk about design-centered first of all, and then we'll get to that award. But because you've done some excellent work with the company.
Yeah. So the company came around actually an idea. So after being a multiple-time entrepreneur, being a designer, we've talked about many different causes on the show in the past as well. I look back and I wanted to focus on something that really, through my career, like that tied that career together. And so that resulted in coming up with a framework called the Impact-Centered Design Framework.
Okay.
And the goal of Impact-Centered Design is to help organizations, individuals be more impact focused, to be more sustainable and inclusive in how we do, whether it's business or we run campaigns or come up with ideas and products. And so it was a framework that I developed, and I started workshopping in the social enterprise sector here in Ottawa, which led to a company forming around it.
Right.
There was a demand. People saw the value in this framework, and I started getting invited to speak in different organizations, come and help at in different projects. We're now a company of about 10 people, and we're working in the public sector, both in the government and the not-for-profit sector. And so entrepreneurship is a thread that enables me as an individual to bring these ideas to the community.
Right.
But then impact is what actually keeps us there and builds that sustainability and growth.
Well, hence the name of the award, right? You've come up with the Impact-Centered Award. The inspiration behind that, I guess, as an entrepreneur, you just felt, we should be celebrating people that take, because becoming an entrepreneur is a big risk to take in itself.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it's a risk. And at the same time, the reason why Impact-Centered Award is I use the analogy, and it's springtime, and this works really well. I use the analogy of our gardens, right? If you want good crops, you have to focus on the roots.
Right.
And so we're focusing this award on early stage entrepreneurs, people with ideas, and who are interested in working on sustainable ideas. So they can be tech projects, they could be services, but we want to support people who are focusing on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and trying to make a difference for people and planet. And so we're nurturing the roots. So early entrepreneurs, early stage entrepreneurs who are building a business model around sustainability.
Right. So
that way we can give them a boost and get them going. And so the award, the prize money is just one part of it. Like we're mentoring these people. We're running this program through the University of Ottawa's Entrepreneurship Hub.
Oh, excellent.
Yep. Yeah. So we're connected with the University of Ottawa on this at the Entrepreneurship Hub. We had the inaugural award ceremony at the eHub's Pitch Fest just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, tell us about the award winner. Who was chosen?
Yeah. So it's a brilliant young lady by the name of Olga Koppel. She's she's developed a technology at the University of Ottawa that enables smart cities to be able to understand their environment a bit better and to make better environmental decisions. So the technology she's developed is a tiny chip. I wish I had it right now to show you, but but it's just a chip, right? But what this little chip is able to do is that it is because cities can place them in different parts of the city. They're a lot more accurate than satellites reading ground surface conditions.
Right.
And then they're a lot, because they're so tiny, they're a lot more cost effective than weather stations, and like these big weather stations that track the oxygen level in the air, carbon dioxide in the air. And so it's cheap, It's efficient. It can be spread all across the city. So it gives the smart cities a way to map the sort of different things across the city and make better urban decisions to build city. You know, they can make decisions around where to plant more trees and what kind of trees and what's the heat signature. Because
so has she approached the city of Ottawa? Is there any kind of partnership in talks?
So they've had some talks,
okay.
And that was something that was really exciting because as an entrepreneur, you have to know how to get your product to market.
Right.
Right. So it's one thing to have a great idea, but you have to get your product to market. And so, you know, she's doing all the right things. She's had chats with the city of Ottawa. They've looked at it. So she's got some early stage validation. Now she's you know perfecting that technology. They've got like the chip and then a software that helps make decisions. It helps people who do this kind of work make decisions behind the scenes and create some great visualizations that you know people can see and tell the story around what's happening in the environment of a city. And so City of Ottawa is just the beginning. And you know I see applications. I mean, we work in the design and innovation space at Design Centered Co. So we see the application of this in many, many cities.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be a yearly award that you hand out for those that you know are intrigued and they're watching and they want to participate. How do they get involved?
So through the University of Ottawa, there's going to be a couple of cohorts a year. So we're going to do this a couple of times a year.
Excellent.
The way that people can get involved is like one, I really encourage people to get to know the sustainable development goals. There's so many opportunities. We're talking about climate change and so many different issues these days. But like familiarizing yourself with SDGs and then aligning opportunities.
I'll have to leave it at that. Sure. We're just running out of time, but I appreciate the time. We'll be right back after this.